Hi, good evening, everyone. So I'm a part of Nomura Research Institute. So I've been a consultant throughout. I joined Nomura about a year back, and prior to that, I was with Deloitte. So mainly my work as a consultant revolves around risk consulting and risk advisory. We develop models as well, do lots of model validations for banks and financial institutions. We help asset management companies on their advisory bit as well, and do some M&A advisory. I would like to say there are advantages of being a consultant. Firstly, you get to interact with clients in such a diverse set of domains. Like today morning, I had a couple of meetings this morning. So the first meeting was with a prominent broker in Mumbai, and the second was with a big private bank. So I think consulting gives one an exposure to different industry verticals. So that helps in the individual to learn what all things are going on in the market. Also, the advantage of consulting is it gives a lot of travel opportunities both domestically and abroad. I'm of the opinion that mobility brings prosperity and makes a person wiser as well. The idea is when you travel outside, you get to know what is going on in the foreign markets and how the clients are thinking, and so basically it helps an individual to evolve as a whole. So being a consultant helps in doing. Also at the same time, since you're a consultant, clients come to you with different expectations. So one could be one of the banks might require you to build an econometric model or an economic model for calculating, say, their capital, something to suit their capital adequacy requirements. Whereas probably your next client could be an equity broker who has equity derivatives on his books, and he wants you to build a model or review his model. So being a consultant actually pushes you to continue with your learning. So even today, I keep on trying to update myself, and I'll keep on reading because I'm not sure what the client expectation would be when I go to meet him. So I have to be ahead of the curve, and I have to meet potential and my existing clients as well. There is a lot of scope for youngsters with economics, data analytics, and econometric skills. Not just in consulting, I would say even in banks, investment banks, AMCs, insurance firms. If I were to jot down a few roles where these guys could chip in, firstly is with the advent of newer regulations which are coming into practice, like Basel and other capital adequacy regulations. A lot of model development work has started as well, because banks are moving into approaches like internal models approach for capital adequacy. So that's where people with quantitative skills will be in high demand. Also, a lot of analytics is going on because post 2008, the number of quantitative jobs, core quant jobs have gone down considerably because the structuring has come down quite a bit. So there is a more heavier emphasis on roles which are mainly supporting stress testing or stress analysis, or building Monte Carlo engines which could be used in financial models. So people with the relevant skills would suit in them. Now whenever we have to hire an individual as being a consultant in our firm, certain key criteria which we look at firstly is the core finance and economics knowledge. Now I would say even if one is working into a finance domain, he is never really apart from economics because they are so closely intertwined that majority of the concepts in economics come into finance. So starting with demand and supply, that's the key criteria which affects everything right from the equity markets up till maybe option volatilities. So a basic finance and economics knowledge is a plus. Next is, as Sir pointed out, the attitude has to be right. So the person has to show the willingness to learn and work hard. I would say that the learning has to be continual, so it should never stop because there's no finish line for knowledge, I would say. So one has to keep on learning new things. Thirdly, if I had to say, then since the stress on analytics is increasing, it would be advantageous if a person has a knowledge from analytics, that too mixed with some amount of programming experience as well. Because there is a dearth of people who has a combination of knowledge of finance, economics and programming. So not exactly a financial engineer, but someone who would suit an analytics role. That's what we look for individuals. Now, speaking of data analytics, it's increasing big time these days. Now, a couple of places where it's observed is with the newer regulations like CRD4, Basel, FATCA coming in, lots of reporting requirements are increasing. So banks and financial institutions, along with their compliance departments, have to do a lot of number crunching, data aggregation, data cleansing, and data analysis. So that's where people having big data technologies are in demand. Because these are specialist roles and these are key functions, because whenever it comes to regulatory reporting, banks and financial institutions are extremely careful because they have to make sure nothing goes wrong, because that can create problems going further. So that is one place where analytics is increasing. Also, as I previously mentioned, many foreign institutions are actually setting up KPO units in the country. There are big banks and financial institutions. So they require people with analytics skills because they mainly do the risk management functions from here, which would involve risk analytics and treasury analytics. So I would say a person with big data knowledge and knowledge of analytics, along with maybe some programming language like R or maybe Python, which are extremely popular these days, then he would be in demand. Now, Meghnad Desai has a course on data analytics and economics. Incidentally, a couple of months back, we had interns from this institute who had come to our company for the internship interviews. So, it was really good interacting with them, and we like the syllabus. It is very relevant to what the market is expecting. So, I would say overall it's a good mix of economics, analytics, and econometrics as well.